What's up, y'all? As the NFL works its way through the second quarter of the season, there are many storylines playing out and getting attention. Now, one that's common most years is the officiating. Now, this year, outside of the emphasis on roughing the passer, there really haven't been as many highly publicized, controversial, or bad calls. But if you were to ask any fan, I'm guaranteed most will have something to complain about. Now, obviously, a lot of the problems people have with referees has less to do with bad whistles and more with fans looking for an excuse for why their team lost. But it's also well known that often in big moments of important games, blown calls do happen, and for far too often they're the difference between a win or a loss. Now we get it, refs are humans working hard to do their best at a difficult and thankless job, so we're not going to bash them in this. We just have a few suggestions on ways the league can improve and better ensure that the games are determined by the athletes on the field. The first problem is pretty clear. Every generation of players is bigger, stronger, and faster than the last. Now, you combine that with advancements in exercise and training science, nutrition, and medical and equipment technology, and the speed of the game is always accelerating, while the ability of referees remains largely the same. Now, officials may work out to keep in shape, but the widening gap in their athleticism and that of the guys in the NFL makes it impossible for them to keep up. Ed Hockey is more of the exception than the rule. Age is a factor as well. The average age of an NFL player is 27 years old. Most refs are pushing 51. There's a reason nobody even close to 50 is playing in the league. So how can we expect somebody that age or older to be able to regulate a game played by men that they're no match for physically? There's actually a simple and readily available solution to this problem though. Now every season there are dozens of young men who fall short in physical ability, talent, or the skill departments to make it in the NFL. These men, however, are still vastly superior athletes to the current referees today. Now, these guys would be the perfect candidates to officiate games. There's a deep pool to choose from, and they're so much better suited for the demands of the job. Not only are they comparable athletes, but through their recent training for the sport, they've developed the necessary reflexes, eye coordination, and awareness to excel at making close calls on split-second plays. They've also been participating since they were children, so they're already well versed in the rules, and any knowledge deficits would be minor, so it wouldn't take much to get them educated in all the regulations. So now you got a younger, fitter referee, better suited physically to perform the rigors of the profession, while still remaining just as knowledgeable about the ones that are used now. The league could institute a training and recruitment program, bringing in these guys to be groomed as future officials. The NFL has been criticized for using part-time refs, so this method would also solve the problem, as the program would allow them to build a core of refs who train for it as a full-time career. This would definitely improve the overall quality of the NFL refs and thus the officiating of the games. All right, our next suggestion is not so much a new idea as it is an expansion of something already in place. Now, we're not going to go into the debate on replay about how it's used or if it takes too long, if it gets things right, or whatever. Instead, we're just going to recommend a way to increase its scope and the usage of video to catch certain missed penalties. Now, hold up. Before you roll your eyes and say that it's going to make the game even longer, just hear us out. If executed right, our plan would not only significantly help, but really wouldn't add much holdup. Now, think about it. Most football penalties are easy enough to identify and call in real time. But, one that's constantly missed and debated is pass interference. Now, more often than not, after a pass play, the replay shows that the player on either side of the ball is illegally impeded with, and the flag should have been thrown. Now, these replays are usually shown within about 5 seconds of the play, which is well under the 25 seconds between snaps. Why not then have the same official that calls for reviews inside 2 minutes of every half be allowed to call a penalty if PI spotted? The league can limit the time to make the call within the 5 seconds or so window already used to show the replays on TV. If no obvious fouls can be identified within that time, it'd be determined to not have the indisputable evidence required to throw a flag, similar to how challenge calls are overturned or not. And this would be the sole responsibility of the booth official. The coaches would not be able to challenge either before or after, and the review would take place behind the scenes and really would only be necessary on closely contested passes. The penalty will be assessed as soon as it was over, and there will be plenty of time to make a quick determination. Now, this would eliminate bad calls on crucial plays without slowing down the game in a major way. It may even speed it up, because if you think about it, most calls are briefly discussed before being made by officials anyway. So by relying on more video, The conversation would be much shorter as the refs would have the input of a tool with a much better view to help decide what penalty, if any, had taken place. If done correctly, this could theoretically be used to quickly and effectively make a determination on most judgment calls. If the technology is there, why not use it? Speaking of technology, it may not be quite where we need it to be for our last suggestion, though really the only current obstacle would be the size and weight. Now, other commonly debated calls in football are goal line crossings and first down spots. It's just simply impossible sometimes to tell where a ball is positioned under a pile of men. However, there may be nothing more important than the spot of where a ball is placed. Something as crucial shouldn't be the mercy of human error. A way to solve this would be to place sensors in the pylons and first down chains, and either some kind of chip in or barcode on the ball that would allow the data to be collected on where a ball had crossed a certain point. Then it'd be easy to tell if a player had achieved a first down or scored a touchdown. Again, the chip or barcode would have to be weightless so that not to affect throwing or carrying of the football, so that could potentially make this unviable right now. Yet it's not far-fetched that with a little research and investment, this could prove to be a valuable tool in getting critical calls correct. Look, the game will never be perfect. Players, coaches, and officials will all make mistakes. However, if there's a way to improve the game, why not try it? Human error may be inevitable, but at the end of the day, fans want the game to be decided by the humans they paid to see play the game, not the zebras who are there to regulate it.